YouTube? Craig, reviews for you. Just got back from the movie theater. Went and gave Marvel a little bit more of my money. I did check before I went to the movie theater because, like I said, we got assigned seating in our movie theaters around here. And like I said before, the second week of Solo is going to be the telltale sign of what it's actually going to do. There were so many open seats, and not only did I go to one theater, I went to two. I went to our biggest theater first, and I went to our second biggest theater, and actually watched Infinity War again, and Deadpool 2 again. Yeah, I know, it's one of them times, I'm getting over the surgery stuff, and I'm just trying to have some fun, trying to ease into it. So it doesn't look like Solo's weekend is going to go that well. Ryan Johnson sent a tweet over to Ron Howard. I don't remember the exact phrase, but man, Ron tweeted to Ryan Johnson today. I'm gonna have to go look it up. You can look it up. I can't get on. I can't see what Ryan Johnson's doing because he's already blocked me. So I don't know how he responded back to it. But Ron Howard pretty much called The Last Jedi I don't know, a big pile of crap or steaming pile of something. It's actually getting comical at this point because Ron Howard knows that the reason that Solo flopped is because of Ryan Johnson. And also because of us sticking together, doing what we said we're going to do. You got to fight against the man. Every now and then you just got to go against the man. You got to get your hands dirty. And we all stuck to it. Now, we've got another year and a half before another film comes out. That's a lot of sticking to it right there. So, we're just at the very beginning of this battle. We're gonna hope that everything turns out the way we want it to. Now, getting into Kathleen Kennedy. If you haven't noticed, you haven't seen or heard anything from Kathleen Kennedy in a while. Now, you would think that the head of Lucasfilm would come out and make a statement, or would at least have something to say over defending their choice in producing Solo as a film. They have hundreds of characters to choose from, yet they keep trying to leech off of the original trilogy. You're never going to accomplish anything leeching off the original trilogy. They're going to take every character in there and do an origin story on every one of them. That's not how this is going to work. That's bad. That shows bad leadership. That shows bad judgment. Attitude reflects leadership. Our attitude is a direct reflection of Lucasfilm's leadership. It's the same thing at work. Attitude reflects leadership. Bad leadership, bad attitude. Alright, so a Boba Fett origin story or a Boba Fett movie. Okay, Boba Fett's a great character. He had, 4 or 5 total lines in 2 movies and maybe 7 minutes of screen time before he was in the Sarlacc pit. Is that a good choice? Why not pick up any one of the stories that you have the rights to after buying Lucasfilm and go with it? Why do you have to keep rehashing all the old characters? That's a bad decision. Now, the other way Kathleen Kennedy has failed. She failed at finding the right director for the movie. Now, this doesn't just go for any specific film. This goes for every movie that Disney's produced. Every movie has had production issues. Now, that's her main job, being the producer, is to make sure that her and the director are on the same page. Yet, 3/4 of the way through the movie, it's always creative differences. And then the movie has to get reshot. They have to fire those and find somebody else to come in and fix it. Now, this didn't happen once, which is crazy. You know, it happened in Rogue One. It happened in Solo, which blew Solo's budget way out of the water. Trevorrow was going to do, and fired him before he even got a chance. I mean, he did a rough draft of script, and it was just a rough draft. They bring in a writer, a screenwriter to come in. They go through it again. Creative differences. He's gone. Now JJ's back. Rian Johnson, you know, bad decision all the way around for Rian Johnson to come in. I will say there were some great cinematic scenes, very beautifully shot. There were some favorite moments in The Last Jedi for me. One is when the rebel ship went completely through Snoke's ship. I did like the Hoth-like salt turning red as the speeders went through there. That cinematically was a beautiful scene. Not saying the story was good. I'm just saying visually to look at was great. Every time they came up on Arc 2 and you'd see the camera coming down towards the island and panning down, great visual scene. Just poorly done. Just a poorly done film altogether. Which is why we all decided that we were going to boycott. So why has Kathleen Kennedy not been up front? Now remember, after The Last Jedi, she was pictures everywhere. I mean, you couldn't click the internet anywhere without seeing a picture of Kathleen Kennedy. Yet we don't see her now. You know, doesn't that seem kind of odd to you? That Kathleen Kennedy's not around? She's not out there. She's not the face. Matter of fact, they have no face at Lucasfilm to come out and make a statement or anything else. You know, they're projecting 400 to 450 million, like I said earlier in the week. You ain't going to hit 450 million. It's not going to do it. Now, who's to blame there? Well, we're partially to blame, but we're doing it for a reason. We're doing it to help Star Wars and Star Wars fans. People don't understand it. You know, at this point, I'm just tired of trying to explain it to them. I'm sure probably most of you are tired of explaining it to them too. You know, we've got to have some changes made. If these changes are not made, this franchise will fail. And then the good news is we still have the EU, we still have the original trilogy to look back on. We still have all of our memories of every other project and every other film. Because even some of us, you know, some of the guys out there really enjoyed the prequels. Guess what? You get to really enjoy the prequels some more. So with that being said, there's really nothing they can take away from us. But still, the question comes up. Kathleen Kennedy. Ultimately, she's responsible for everything. She's responsible for finding the correct director. She's responsible for making sure that the vision between her and the director is perfectly clear. She is directly responsible for upcoming films, which projects get approved, which projects don't get approved, which Solo should have never been made. It's a movie we didn't want. Now, is it a bad movie? It's okay. You know, it's safe. It's not a great movie. But then again, really none of them really were. Rogue One probably being the best of all the Disney stuff. Now, it makes you wonder, where's Kathleen Kennedy? You know she's not taking a vacation. The last I heard, they were giving her a reprieve until episode 9. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, to be honest with you. I haven't gotten an answer back on that yet because I didn't think about it until today, and I sent him an email today, you know, hey, what's the deal with Kathleen? Why is she not showing up? This and that, you know, why don't we see her? And I haven't heard back from him yet, which it normally takes him a day or two to get back to me because he's overseas right now. But I don't know, it's just kind of strange. Normally she'd be out there defending it and everything else. Now she knows that we're all fed up with this SJW message crap. I mean, we're completely fed up with that. And I made that video earlier today because I get, and I don't know why. I get a lot of messages, a lot of messages through YouTube and DMs through Twitter, just hateful messages about supporting the boycott, about talking bad about Star Wars, about I'm not a real fan. I've watched your videos and this and that. You're not a real fan. I can't explain and delve into how deep I am into Star Wars. And I don't mean just as in I collect a bunch of Star Wars stuff. So, am I passionate about Star Wars? Yes. I am. But I can't really get into where I'm actually sitting in the Star Wars fandom. But I can guarantee you that, and it could be why I keep getting these type of messages. But that's why I made the video earlier today. You know, I try to brush it off and go on about my business, because at this point, it's getting pretty comical. I mean, it really is. It shouldn't be funny, but it really is. The ones that I'm getting the messages from are the extremists that I talked about earlier today. And if you go back through there and just read through it, you know, I mean, it stings the first time you hear it, but the second time you read it, and the third time you read it, and the fourth time you read it, you start to really realize, well, yeah, I'm not really worried about that guy. Or I'm not really worried about that girl. Or I'm not really worried about that woman. Or I'm really not worried about anybody. Nobody's going to silence what I've got to say. And if I want to boycott and keep my wallet shut, well, that's my decision. I've never said nobody go see this film. Y'all have watched these videos. If you want to go see them, by all means, it's your right. I am not going to go see them. Now, the comments down below in the majority of the videos, they're not going to go see them either. That's not influenced by me. That's not influenced by me at all. The only thing we're doing is we're sticking together, which is what we got to do. So, with that being said, I just want to give you an update. Since I went to the movie theater tonight, and there was absolutely nobody there to watch Solo. So, we know that the numbers this weekend are going to go plummeting really bad. We know that as soon as they do that, they're not going to be in the theater long. And I also wanted to go over the Kathleen Kennedy thing. If you've got any information on the Kathleen Kennedy thing, that's great. But I mean, the theory of mine is either A, she's either being reevaluated, or she could be working really closely with JJ on the rewrites for episode 9. Or she could have already been fired. I mean, there's a lot of things that they've kept from everybody. You know, I mean, there's a lot of information that I've released 2 to 3 weeks to a month earlier than what they actually release it. So she could have already been fired. I mean, if it were me, I mean, after the failures that I just outlined right there, that's just poor leadership. That shows that she shouldn't be in the position she's in. So if it were my employee, like I've said before, if I have 3 or 4 employees and 3 are producing and 1 is not, that 1 is gone. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's a business decision. It has nothing to do with being personal. It's a business decision. So, with that being said, I want to wrap this up. I'm Craig. Reviews for you. Please put your comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe, share. We'll get our message out there. If we can continue on, because I know the guys that are on this channel are not really looking forward to anything that's coming out anyway, and are dead set against it, and their wallets sewn shut just like mine. I don't see this boycott going away anytime soon, unless there are actual changes made, which are going to have to be drastic changes. So, with that being said, I'm Craig, reviews for you, and I am out of here.
It's plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. You know, I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last.